Hi, in today's video I'd like to show you the latest version of JMRI and how to get it, and the fact that LCC has now got its own front end for JMRI that may interest you, called LCC Pro. So I'm going to basically show you how to get hold of the latest release. So if we type into here JMRI releases, and here it'll bring up this page. And here you can see the latest release, which is JMRI 5.12. So scrolling down this page, and I have shown this in the past, but on my normal YouTube channel, but I'm doing this obviously for the LCC Special Interest Group. So I use a Windows machine, so I need to download this exe file. But one word you need to be aware of, you do need Java. Now they recommend Java 17, so we click here and we scroll down this page. Now there's various ways you can do it. You can do it with open, or this one here, or whatever. I'm going to show you this one here. So if we go to here and we scroll down, which Java version do you need? So if we then go to here and we have to decide which version, so I'll see in this case Java 17. What operating system? For me it's a Windows machine. Next we want to know which architecture it is, and then if we look down here you've got various ones. So if I close this advert down, obviously I would suggest maybe go for this one. I tend to like to use the MSI version and use that to do the install. I'm not going to do this in this video because I've already got it and it would take a lot of time for me to go through all the various steps of it. So however, let's go back and let's get the latest release. So this is the information about the release and what it's got, and we're going to download it. Now here, I have actually already done this in the past on my machine, but I'll do it again anyway. And this will take a few moments to download. I'll speed this part of the video up, because obviously it's going to depend on the speed of your machine, how long this would take. Right, and now we can see it's downloaded. It's 188 megabytes. So I want to go into here and go into the folder where it is. So here we can see we've got the application. So I'm going to click on it. And here you get a warning. Now, we have seen, depending on your operating system and what security settings you've got, you might not be able to get access to this, and you have to work on that with whatever system you've got. As you see, I have no problem, but I do need to go to more information. And yes, I do trust it, so I'm going to run it anyway. I'm going to click here, yes. And then I'm going to click here. And it's asking me where do I want to put it, and do I want to make a backup of existing files. Now this is highly recommended if you've already got your system set up. So I will do that. Click next. This then will take a few minutes to go through. If it takes too long, I will speed the video up. So here we get install for any users of this computer. In this case, I'm happy to do that. Now, at this point, normally I would have said just click next, but in this case, I want to show you something that's new within JMRI. And we've got a couple of options here. And the one we're interested in, I'm going to show today, is LCC Pro. I want a desktop icon for this to be made now. So I'm going to click next. I'm going to accept where it puts it. You might want to change this. Click next. Yes, I want this. so install, and we'll let it run through the install script. Again, I will speed the video because this can take a little while depending on the speed of your machine. So here you can see it's now completed, so we're going to click next, and we're going to click on finish. Now if I close these windows down, now what you'll see here on my desktop, obviously my desktop's a bit of a mess, so I do apologise. You've got the standard decoder Pro, which is ideal for setting up your new locos or your decoders. We've got the usual panel Pro, which I like to use in the past, but we've now got a new icon called LCC Pro. So I'm going to double click on it. And in this case, I'm going to set it up as a new, and I'm going to call it today, so it's Friday, June 18th. You can just call it whatever you want. Click OK, and then click OK. And you're going to get this window popping up. So we're going to have to go, OK, what's it want? So we click on Next, select your language. So in this case, I want it to be English. It's already give a default owner. You can put whatever you like in here. Click on Next. And then we get here now, its system manufacturing is already preset as LCC. But it wants to know what system connection we're going to use. So in this case, we're going to drop down, and today I'm just going to show you using one of the ESP32 modules using the USB lead, which makes it available so you could make for testing all standalone modules. So we're going to use a Grid Connect adapter. Now it's going to ask us what port it's on. Now in this case on mine it is on COM port 5. You will have to know which port your device is connected. So I've already uploaded the software onto the ESP32. The only other thing we need to do is click here, and we need to change the baud rate to 115/200. We then need to click next and then finish. So this is what we've got now, and here you can see we've got that. I'll just make these bigger. So we've got the JMRI node up here as normal, but here you can see we've got an ESP32 node. You can see the idea of it is here. The manufacturer is OpenLCB. The model, it's an ESP32 to Servo 24IO. And then we've got a little button here we can click, which is for configure. So clicking it once, I clicked it twice by mistake there, click it once, and here you can now see it's bringing up the CDI for it. So again, it's telling you, you can then change this name if you wish. If you change it, it'll tell you basically how many characters it can be in the tip hints here. And obviously you could then say this is a particular point on the layout if you want, but you will need to click right. So in this particular node, and again it will keep changing size for some reason, but I don't know why. So in this one at the moment, what we've got is the turnout servo configuration. So in this particular node, we've got the speed. Now at the moment we've got this so it only you've got one choice of speed for all the servos between 5 and 50. You can change this using the slider. You can type it into here. If you highlight it here and use the arrow keys on your keyboard, or click it once, you can now use the arrow keys on your keyboards to move it. Now here we've got another box which says save servo positions every X times X, and it'll equal seconds. So this has been set so it's 50, so that would be 50 times 50 would equal so many seconds between the saving of the current positions of the servos. Now obviously you might decide how often you want this to be. I normally have this on mine set at 190, which gives about every 30 minutes or so. But this will only write them if they've been changed since the last time it checked it. So that's a nice feature. This before had been hard coded into the node. Again, for those who had already seen this, I will apologise, but this was originally part of our 2 Servo 8IO for the Arduino Nano. Obviously, we've now managed to port it over to the ESP32, but we've also added a few extra little features into it. So you've got the same as normal. When you first start it, the servos will go to 90-degree position, so you can set up the servo. Then here we've got 3 possible positions. In position 1, which is at your start, you can find your ideal closed position, or if you're using it for something else, we could call it position 1. I've just put a little bit of a header here saying closed, mid and thrown. Again, you can use the slider to move the servo, and the servo will now move. I'm not going to show this happening live on the camera because that means it's a little bit harder to set up, but you'll just have to take my word. So that is then, obviously, here's your second servo, and you set the position that you want. Depending which way around you put your position on your board, you might have to go to the right, or you may need to go to the left for your closed positions. So the next thing we've worked on is, with the ESP32, we found that we couldn't use all the pins as input and outputs. So we decided to stick with 8. I found out there was 8 pins we could use. Now, I might change the front screen where you've got the 1, 2, 3 and put the numbers of the actual pin up there, because that might be handier. That won't take long to work out. So that might be a part of the future release. But as with the previous version of the 2 Servo 8IO, you've got the usual choices down here of inputs and the various outputs. I will link in this description of this video back to my normal YouTube channel so you can see what each of these does. And you can set the sliders to whatever values if you want the it to be a delayed input and output. The next thing I want to show you is this bit here, and what we've done, we've now added the MCP23017 module. Now at the moment we've got one module connected to it, and you've got 2 ports, port A and port B, and port A has got 8 ports available to you. So we've got it down as port O, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, which is as they're marked on the actual MCP device. They are down as A0 to A7, and the same for port B. And again, you've got the same choices available to you. You use the sliders if if it's an input, the delays you want it, and then the outputs. And that's basically where we're up to with that sketch. So this sketch will be available in the GitHub repository very shortly. I'm just finishing off the final testing of it, but I just thought I'd show you the new feature in JMRI called LCC Pro. Obviously within LCC Pro you have got the option to go back. If I just close this down, so here you can go Open Panel Pro, or you can then open Decoder Pro. At the moment you've got your traffic monitor. I've not actually looked at the STL editor because I haven't got any software that needs it or uses it, but hopefully that's shown you some of the work that is being done within JMRI in the group to improve what we can do with LCC. And obviously this is just to show that the latest node that we're working on, we've got to the point where we're happy with the way that's starting to react. Anyway, I'm going to close the video here and say thanks for watching. Bye now.